One. How are you today? Here to let you know what happened on episode 7 of LA Brea. 3 things happened, 3 different storylines. First, gonna talk to you about the people down below in the sinkhole. Josh and Lucas get the other camp riled up. Everybody's ticked off at Eve and the cop. You finally find out the cop's name is Mary Beth now. That they just basically screwed up any chance of them getting rescued now. They're stuck here 10,000 years in the past. So they banish Eve and the cop. They say, "You're going. Bye. See ya." Some of the people don't want him to go, but a majority of them did. Because they're upset. Josh and Lucas are even mad at the mothers. For basically, like I just said, basically screwing up any chance of them getting rescued. And then suddenly a cold storm moves in. Those large extinct birds, they're flying over here. They're trying to get away from the cold weather. And Scott, since he's kind of like works at the museum, he knows this. He said, "You guys are not going to be used to cold. Yeah, you guys are used to cold winds and snow up above, but this is going to be nothing like it was 10,000 years ago. It's extreme weather. We got to find shelter ASAP to stay warm." Suddenly, the cold winds, the strong cold winds, cause a pole to snap in half, and it comes crashing down, knocking over some debris in that Lucas was under. So his mom, the cop, goes just in the nick of time to get him out, and she gets trapped as well in the cave-in. So Eve, Sam, Josh, Riley, Scott, and some other survivors, they banded together to try to dig him out while they're fighting the cold weather, the snow, hard snow's coming down on them. So Josh and Riley volunteered to take the Jeep out to go find something to help dig them out. Josh and Mary Beth, the cop. They come across an 18-wheeler. Inside of it's costumes and props from like a movie set or something like that. They gather. They go to almost kiss. Riley is asked why she dropped out of med school and never told her father Sam. She doesn't say why. But they find some winter coats and jackets, so they take that back to camp so people can dress up and stay warm. But they never found nothing. So as the survivors keep trying to find a way to dig them out, Scott again references Lost. This is cool. Like this is like the 4th or 5th reference from Lost. He says, "Remember that episode with Locke and them used dynamite to blow up the door to the hatch? Too bad we didn't have dynamite." And then Sam, that used to be in the army, and now he's a doctor. He, jerry wigs a homemade IED bomb and blows up a hole in the debris and gets Scott and Mary Beth the cop out. I mean, Lucas, I'm sorry. And they're safe. But while they were trapped, no. Lucas was freaking out because he's claustrophobic, apparently. He don't like enclosed spaces. And his mom was trying to calm him down, and they were talking. And he wanted to know, just in case they don't get free, they die in this debris now, why she was in Los Angeles to stop the drug deal and why she shot his dad. And you finally find out why, folks. Apparently, his father was stealing drugs from the police station and reselling it on the street. The cops were closing in on him. And Lucas was helping him do the drug deals and all that. So, the latest drug deal that Lucas was going to do, apparently, that was the one that was going to happen in Los Angeles with the heroin. The cops going to raid it, and he was going to be set up from his dad. So his dad was going to get away scot-free, and Lucas was going to take the fall. So she confronted his father, aka her husband or boyfriend at one point. They never really clarified they were married or not. Anyway, she shot him to protect Lucas, and that's why she was in Los Angeles, to stop the drug deal from happening. So thank God the sinkhole did happen. If you think about it, Lucas would have been sent to prison of all those charges. So he forgives her, kind of, and in the end, if they all rescued, the survivors recast the vote, including Josh and Lucas and Eve and Mary Beth the cop can now stay at camp. But they're still fighting the cold weather storm. Now, up above the sinkhole. That's where things get interesting. Gavin's real life of Izzy and Agent Nathan. He promises Agent Marcus, "I won't try any rescue attempts, don't worry." stuff like that, so he could be let go from custody. And while he was in custody, he started going through that date that the mysterious Warner mentioned, which was November 16th, 1988. And he said, it's been haunting me for days now, and I can't remember why that date seems so familiar. And then he realizes that's the date that he was adopted, having been given up to Child Protective Services. So he starts digging into his past. Because she said that date and year is a possible other reason to rescue the survivors, which we still don't know how yet. So he goes to the church that took him in and gave him up to Child Protection Services, and he meets a reverend. And the reverend remembers him as a kid. And he says, yes, I remember you. You were walking lost on the street, confused, no parents, nothing like that. So we took you in, kept you safe. Then we gave you up to Child Protection Services. But he said there was also there was a 12-year-old girl with you named Ellie. And she never remembered where she came from and stuff like that. So Gavin don't remember nothing about Ellie at all. And he's taken back that, okay, wait a minute, there was a girl with me and all this too. He said the same thing. She could never remember where she came from, stuff like that. So she was adopted as well. So Gavin and Agent Nathan, while they're traveling to Ellie's last known location from the Reverend knew, because he keeps track of all the kids that was adopted from the church there area. Gavin has a vision of Nathan's fiancée, Diana, dying, and the cops shooting her. And the explosion at the plane. So he tells Nathan that her fiancé's dead. She's shook it up, but she still wants to help him. They arrive at Ellie's last location. It's a store where she makes handmade sculptures and stuff. She's not around. They don't see her at all. They go to the back. And she has that handprint single game. There's something going on with that handprint, that red handprint. She has it made out of rocks, like a sculpture of it, out of stone. And that's how the episode ends. It was a good episode. It could have been better than the previous first 6 ones. But this one was still good. Next week, Gavin and Agent Nathan are still trying to track down Ellie. Her connection to Gavin's past. What she's been up to since she was adopted, and why she remembers that handprint as well. And then Scott tells Sam and Eve and them, he says, in order to survive the cold weather from here, and in 10,000 BC, we should go back to that fort and talk to that tribe of people to know how they'll live so long and how they can adjust to the new lifestyle. And I don't think that's a good idea, because they were going to kill them, but I guess they're going to go back. Let me know below if you think that's a good idea or a bad idea they're going back to that fort. Or those tribe of people. Which I still say some of them are previous survivors of the sinkhole. It's just obvious from the clothes they're wearing. The weapons they have made up. The language is plain English. Unlike some of the people at that tribe know they can't speak English. Or maybe they're 50-50. Maybe it is a tribe for 10,000 BC and some of them are survivors from a previous sinkhole. They all live together. I don't know. I still know for a fact. I gotta say there are survivors. Some of them. What do you think, though, folks? Let me know below what you thought of this episode about Gavin's secret past. About that date being the day he was adopted. And this mysterious Ellie was adopted as well. How do you think she's gonna fit in? How do you think that date is gonna be so huge of how they can get rescued? Stay safe, everybody. Too sweet. Bye.